Hello, dears. I've picked this beautiful little spring scene to talk to you, parents of kids who are thinking about going to college. The spring of their junior year, I have parents all over coming to me to ask these 3 questions. Number 1, wait, do I have to do anything? Number 2, is my kid gonna be able to do this? And number 3, will I survive? Those are basically the 3 themes, right? So let's go through them one by one. Well, I'm Jill. I talk to people about college applications, college worries, college stress, college love, college life, college fun, college sadness, all that. Let's go to the first one. Okay, so generally 2 camps of parents. The first camp is having a tricky time getting their child to talk to them at all. And so, of course, the best strategy for those parents is to just think, well, sink or swim, babies. If they're going to go to college, they have to figure out how to get into college. And so that parent set kind of has a laid back attitude. It's like the one when you have little kids, like, well, if they can get themselves onto the jungle gym, they can play safely on the jungle gym. But if they can't get themselves onto the jungle gym, then they shouldn't be on the jungle gym, right? But that's one extreme. Then the other extreme is these parents who kind of look at the college application process, the magnum opus of their parenting life, right? Like they have to do everything to help their child get in. And that can become a very, very stressful, overbearing process. So you ideally want to settle yourself somewhere in between. And this whole college application process can be actually the first really lovely learning experience you both take together kind of as adults. And so I want to encourage you to really gently fall into it and be present through it. Even if you think your kids aren't capable of connecting with you at this point in their teenage lives, because it sure feels like that, I encourage you to slow the thing down and have a quick conversation with them. Like, here you go, babies. We're going to do this together. Let's figure it out. What do you want? What do I want, right? And you start at that point. Okay. Now, we're going to go on to the second question. Second question that a lot of parents have is, can my kid do this at all? And, you read all the material out there about college applications, and it's so easy to think that, your child is different than other children. Your child is, not as mature, or your child doesn't have it figured out yet. You might look around and think, oh, the neighbor kid is going to be a doctor, or they're already doing this. But people talk a really big game. Here's more stream for you. If your blood pressure is starting to go up, just look at the stream. But people talk a really big game, and the truth is, these are young kids. They're 16, 17, 18. And this college stuff is super complicated. How is your child, who's maybe only lived one place in their life, gonna understand the geographic and cultural differences of different universities and campus structures across the world? They're not gonna understand that. And if you look at yourself, maybe you're still not exactly sure what you want to do with the rest of your life, and your kid isn't either. It's okay to be totally unsure. And in fact, the world changes so quickly. Sometimes being really sure what you want to do can just get you into trouble. So I want to encourage you to feel free to be completely open, just open. It's okay if your child does not know what they want to do with their life. It's okay if they don't know where they want to go to school. This is a process and a path that you two can walk together, and it can be really, really, really fun. The third thing, I'll walk a little bit again. Stormy's done with her breaks. Here's Stormy. The third thing I said is, are you going to survive? And it's a hard question to answer, right? Because there's so many ways in which you might not survive. Economically, I'll tell you, babies, you can try to study this one as much as you want, but it's going to throw you for loops. And you just kind of have to be aware of the money stuff and keep talking about it. Talk about it, talk about it, talk about it with your child, with your partner, with your family. At this stage, when you're just starting to think about things, it doesn't really make sense to cut out possibilities, because some of the schools that on the face of it look very, very expensive are actually the cheapest. And some of the schools that look like they're going to be cheap, state schools, are actually the most expensive, right? And so there's a lot you don't know yet. There's a lot I don't know yet. There's a lot you learn as you're going through the process. So just hold the money worries. Hold them for now. The other thing is, like, your kid's going to leave. Are you going to survive that? Like, maybe it's better to just keep them close. Maybe they're not going to, you can start to worry that they won't make it. And here you really have to kind of just trust your intuition and calmly walk through it. Stay in those feelings. Stay in all the feelings. Feelings are a really good thing to have as you're going through this process. Have open conversations with your kid. Have open conversations with your, with your partner, with yourself. Like, what do I do? What do I want from my child? I'm like, are you all going to survive? One thing I started to think and tell myself as my first child was leaving is, like, I would tell myself, they're not dying, right? They're flying, they're flourishing. And I had to keep reminding myself that. And it made the process a lot more joyful. Final thing on that. When your child leaves you, it's not like when our generation, maybe some of you are younger than me probably, but it's not like when you went to school and there wasn't all this social media and there wasn't FaceTime. We have FaceTime, babies. You can still see their faces every day. People say, oh, you should give them space, but you can look at them all the time. You can call them all the time. You can visit. You can do all sorts of fun things. And it's great. You can go to football games. Maybe they'll be dancing. They're going to learn cool stuff. And you can start to unworry yourself. So it can be great, and you will survive. I wish you the best process. Come back and see me for more advice. Bye.